One of the most anticipated collections to launch for spring, Guerlain. I'm calling it the denim collection, so of course I'm wearing denim today. And I picked up the quad, the 2 lipstick cases, and the Kiss Kiss formula. I think that this is the new shade. We'll get into it. I'll show you all the design elements and talk about the shades, and then of course I'll use the eyeshadow on my eyes and I'll swatch it for you. So if you're interested in seeing that, just stay tuned. Hey everyone. So today is going to be a Guerlain day. This is, let me get the exact name, Summer Jean 518. This is the cover of the packaging. Now, Guerlain eyeshadows were launched, this version of the Guerlain eyeshadows were launched last year, and the cases usually were just the gold. There wasn't a pattern on the cases. And then there was, I think it was for Chinese New Year, they had a red sort of like velvet case that came out. I did not pick that up, but it did have a covering on the eyeshadow quad. And that looked really pretty. Like I said, I didn't pick it up because I felt like I already had the shades that were inside. These shades are very different. And the packaging I absolutely loved. So I was like, yeah, have to get it. Now, I've heard some controversy about the Guerlain quads. Some folks have said they don't really like the formula. The formula has always worked really well for me. But, you know, I mean, everyone has different perspectives on formula and what they're looking for, but I've never had any problems with it. So it'll be interesting to try this one today. And then there were 2 cases, Rouge G cases that came out, Blossom Jean and Love Jean. Now, they are very, very similar. This one is Love Jean. And this one is a Blossom Jean. Now I'm gonna put them next to each other. You'll see that the Love Jean and the Blossom Jean, the Love Jean has the flowers kind of like, I guess you could say almost like heart-shaped love. And then the Blossom Jean, you've got the flowers blossoming. That's how you can tell the difference between the 2. But they're very, very similar. I collect these. I'll show you all the ones that I have in my collection. So I picked up both of them, but they are very similar. I certainly wouldn't say that you need to have both. And they are, you know, quite expensive. I'll make sure the prices are down below, but they're not so drastically different that you just, you know, like looking at them quickly, you could tell. If you stare at them, yes, you can tell the difference, but you know, just like at a quick look, they're very, very similar. The shades inside. So the new shade is 360 Milky Beige Velvet. Now, I think there's 2 other new shades, but I couldn't figure out which ones those were. So I only picked up the one I knew was new, which is the 360. This is a velvet, like I said, Milky Beige. Don't worry, I'll swatch them all for you, but I don't know what else is new. Guerlain makes it very difficult. Like they don't signify this is new, this is, you know, old. So once I figure out what's new, I'll let you know in addition to the 360, but the 360 is new and it's velvet. Then I picked up shade 12, which is a satin, and it's not new, but it's a shade I didn't actually have. And I'll put the name down below. It's number 12. And I just really like that shade. I don't know how I did not have that, but I did not have that. And then in the Bee Glow, which is in this type of case, the shade that's new is 129 Blossom Glow. I actually have it on my lips right now, and I'll put it on again for you guys just so you can see it. It is very pink, very spring, which again, not a surprise. This is the spring collection from Guerlain. This is called the Floral Denim collection overall, which I think is interesting. This is a tint balm. This is the Bee Glow, and it says 98% naturally derived honey tint balm. Let's see. Kiss Kiss Be Glow, a tinted lip balm infused with honey, made of 98% naturally derived ingredients, natural color of the lips, touch of glowing shine, 24-hour hydrating care. Creamy and addictive, its incredibly melting texture glides onto the lips, long-lasting comfort. Honey and melting active ingredients for soothed, softened, nourished, and plump lips. More beautiful day after day. It says 6 floral shades, and then the new shade that was just launched. I do like this formula. I think it is very comforting, and I do enjoy it. But I had some people ask me about it. It's not my favorite. Like, it's not something that I must have. It's $40. So it's an expensive tinted balm. You guys know I love a tinted balm, but an expensive one. But you know, Chanel, I think Chanel's $45. Dior is probably in about the same range. Jones Road is a less expensive alternative. There are many tinted balms that I would go for before I would go for this formula. It's not that it's a bad formula. It's good and I like it. It's just not my favorite. It's comforting. I like it. I think it looks nice. The packaging is pretty. It's just not my favorite. Yeah. So this is a nice formula. It's a nice bright pink shade. I think it works well with the collection. It makes sense. They're calling this the summer collection. I'm referring to it as spring since this is the first day of spring was like yesterday. But we all know that these things are launched ahead of the actual season. So in other words, January, February, March is spring. April, May, June is summer. So this is stratifying both because the end of March, beginning of April. So they're calling it summer. So I guess go with summer. I guess that's the way we could do this. So 360, the Milky Beige, like I said, this is a velvet shade. I like their velvet formula. Velvet is not my favorite formula, just in general, but this, you know, their formula is actually very nice and very comfortable. So it's something that I do wear, which is why I was like, all right, I will pick it up. And this is a beautiful shade. Shade 12, which I picked up, like I said, is a satin. This is not new, to my understanding anyway, but it looked like a beautiful shade, the kind of shade I would like. And so I picked it up. They actually are very similar. It's so funny in shade, except one's a satin and one is a velvet. I did not do that on purpose, guys. Maybe my eye was better than I thought it was, but I was doing all of this online. So there's not a place locally that I can look up the Guerlain. All right, let me pull my hair back. Even though I cut off like 7 inches of my hair, it's already growing. I'm just like, wow, it's already gotten longer. So anyway, let's see if we can look a little bit at the design. It says, inspired by Laura Gulshani's work, Violet has designed the Floral Denim collection, 2 Rouge G cases to compose with iconic shades, and a new limited edition Ombre G, along with a new Kiss Kiss Be Glow shade for a naturally fresh and colorful look. So they're saying it's just one, actually, 129, Blossom Kiss, which is interesting because they show 3 shades. Okay, I don't understand that. They show 3 shades, but they say 129 is the only new one. I'll try to find out more. Rouge G. The luxurious velvet 360 Milky Beige, a timeless chic rosy beige, and Rouge G luxurious velvet 880 ruby red. Okay, so that's the other one, which I didn't pick up. I did see that shade, but I don't wear like a red lipstick. Ruby red, a radiant red synonymous with sophistication, which can be teamed with a smoky blue eye. Velvety matte style icons, just like jeans. These 2 shades are a key piece in the wardrobe. All right, so they're saying there's 2 shades that are new, 360 and 880. Again, they are showing 3 lipsticks, but maybe it just looks better with 3 lipsticks. I don't know. So the new shades in the Rouge G supposedly are 880 Ruby Red, which is a velvet, and 360 Milky Beige, which is a velvet. Obviously, I have the Milky Beige. The 880, I'll put up a picture right now, just so you can see it, in case you're interested in picking it up. And then the 129 I have on my lips at the moment. It's like a bright pink. These are the cases, the new shades we've gone through. Just so you guys know, let me show you really quickly a brief overview of the cases that I have. So I have just a simple regular case. That was like my first entree into all of this. And I was like, oh, that's cute. I like that. And then it went from there. These are the ones that were released that have like the butterfly wings. And I picked up all 3 of those. And a lot of these you can still get on the Guerlain site if they're available. I'll make sure there's links below. Guerlain does not have affiliate links. When I put in my Instagram like affiliate links, you can buy through my links. Technically, there's no money that I make from any of the links for Guerlain, but it does track sort of that, you know, I drove traffic to their site, but you don't get paid for any, there are no affiliate links for Guerlain. When it shows up at other retailers like Sephora or Neiman's or Saks or Nordstrom or wherever it shows up, I will link affiliate links. I appreciate all of you who are interested in trying to use my links. That's very kind of you to support the channel. But like I said, Guerlain does not have affiliate links per se. Then I have the pearl case, which is cool. There's a couple cases that I actually want that I should like pick up on secondary markets, but I haven't yet. There's this gold case that has like, it's a very subtle, it's got like the little stars. I think this was holiday last year. I've got sequins, the gold sequins. I've got the red and gold Swarovski crystals. This was the one that came out for technically spring, Rosy Bloom that everybody loved, including myself. Love the shade. This is a special edition one that came out for the holidays that has the Swarovski bee on it. And then I picked up another one that was a holiday one. Actually, it was early this year on sale. And this is one of their, you know, special editions that they do every year. So I really like these cases. There's people who have a lot more cases than I do. Yeah, I love the cases. I think they're fun. And those are all different shades of lipstick that are in those, the Rouge G. I don't have a duplicate shade. Okay, so let's swatch this very lovely eyeshadow palette. Let me see if there's anything that it says. Ombre G 518 Summer Jean was created by Violet based on this collection's theme with a bright, vibrant color palette that fuses denim and nature in satin metallic finishes for an everyday or bold looks. Let's see. It says, for the first time, the Rouge G and Ombre G cases are covered in denim. Jeans are a legendary staple in the Parisian woman's wardrobe. The raw canvas customized by Laura Gulshani is printed with floral motifs and petals with embroidered contours forged by bees that buzz around in the sun-kissed light. All these elements are drawn both from nature and summertime and Guerlain's heritage. You know, Guerlain does obviously a lot of work with bees and honey, and they're known for that. So that's why that motif, you know, you'll see that in all of the Guerlain products, skincare, etc. And when I keep saying Violet, by the way, Violet is the, I think her title is creative director at Guerlain. So, okay, so let's go ahead and get started with swatches. I just want to make sure there's nothing I'm missing. All right, so you can see these are very bright shades. There's the yellow in here, which is in like every single palette this summer. Oh, by the way, my nails. So my sister actually was talking to me about press-on nails. And back in the day when I was young, press-on nails, you could get them at the store, and press-on nails were terrible. You would literally press them on. There was like an adhesive on the back, and then they would pop off like minutes later. But lately, they've become very popular, and you can find them at Target and Ulta and Nordstrom's and Neiman's, and you can, there's, you know, tons of them. And I have seen them everywhere, but I was kind of like, I don't know if these are going to work. These are ones that I picked up actually at Target, and I'll make sure the name is below. I have to say, these actually stay on and are really easy to do. I'm going to be trying a number of different brands, like Target brands, Ulta brands, you know, brands that you can find there. And then also there's Static Nails, which I've seen at Nordstrom's and Saks and others that seem to be the most popular ones. And I'll certainly update you and let you know how they go. But I have to say, they so far work really well, easy to put on, and don't pop off. So, all right, let's go ahead and swatch this. I think there's going to be folks that are going to argue that these shades are like, you know, too much. And maybe, like, if you know, again, if you don't like a colorful palette, then probably. But I do like seeing something a little bit different, a little bit more unique and fun, especially like in this type of packaging. For me, the reason that it was like such a, you know, anticipated launch is because it was different. You know, I find I'm on year 3 here on YouTube doing beauty, and things do get repetitive, guys, to be honest. Like, you've seen one neutral palette, you've seen, you know, like, it's all the same. And the red and pink lately has just been like, okay, can't take any more red and pink. So honestly, yes, the packaging drew me in, but also the shades were just like a little bit different and really pretty. And I was like, well, you know, I don't know if they're all gonna go together, to be very honest with you, but at least they're different. At least it's something unique. And I honestly could not take another red pink I just couldn't. So, you know, I would probably use these separately. I would probably, on my daily life, use this as like a transition and then this on the eye. And same here, I'd use this on the eye and like smoke it out with this. That's kind of what I would do. But, you know, for the purposes of today, let's try to use them all together so you can see how they work. And then hopefully I'll have some time to play around with the palette a little bit. And I can, you know, do a look with just the blue and purple, or just the purple and the gold, you know, that type of thing. Because I think these colors could look really stunning by themselves, but I think they'll also be very interesting together. So I'll do that eye look, I'll put on mascara, and then I will finish with the new shade, the 360 Milky Beige, so you can see it. Okay, so in order to get this up for you guys quickly, I'm not gonna do like a super long tutorial or anything because that will take a long time to edit. So we're gonna do a quick look with it, but at least you can see it, and you can, you know, get an idea of how this performs. So we're gonna use the brown shade as sort of a transition here. It's a warm, almost, what do I call this? Terracotta, actually. It's a terracotta shade, which I should have been able to guess with Guerlain. Guerlain also has a new foundation, which I have not ordered or tried. I just feel like I have so much foundation right now, and foundation that I'm very happy with. So if it's something that I get an overwhelming response to try, then I will. But otherwise, I think for now, we will refrain from picking that up and reviewing it here. But I have heard some folks say it's not great for dry skin. Don't know if that's true because I haven't tried it myself, but just so you know, it's what I've heard. Okay, now that is the terracotta shade. Really pretty, like just a really gorgeous, beautiful shade. We're gonna use the lavender shade on the eye, which I think is gonna be interesting. Now, lavender and brown, I mean, that's gonna work together. Like I said, honestly, I am somebody who doesn't tend to mix undertones and shades, so I generally would not take a lavender and mix it with a terracotta shade on my eye. It's not that I can't, it's just not my general style. I tend to be very boring and like, you know, shades and undertones in like their kind of similar buckets when I do a style, but You know, I think for the purposes of today, I just want you to see this formula. I'm not having any problems with it. I think it's really nice, but I've liked all the formulas that I've experienced with the Ombre G collection from Guerlain. So I don't know, maybe I just like I don't know, but I haven't had any issues with it. All right, we're gonna take that blue shade, put it out here on the corner. I am being, you know, careful with it so I don't get too much fallout from it. This does remind me a little of the 80s. You know, the denim and the blue. I recently came across a picture of myself from the 80s that I had so much blue eyeshadow on. I don't know exactly what I was thinking, except for the fact that, you know, if you were old enough to be wearing makeup in the 80s, you'll understand that it was just a style. I mean, it was not ironic. It was, you know, people wore blue, colorful. It was a thing. And I thought it looked good. And actually looking back on it, it looks fine. It's just, I was like, wow, that's really blue. Anyway, so that's what this reminds me of. It is actually a very nice blue and it's blending beautifully into the purple. But again, this is not a safe neutral. That's really pretty. I actually, again, I really like this, but it reminds me a little bit of my 80s makeup, I have to say. Pretty, and it actually blends well. I actually think this blue is not as daunting as it looks in the pan. Because when it blends out, it has a little bit of grayness to it, which is actually really nice. Now, what I've done a lot, what I did with the Chantecaille and the Chanel Spring, Chanel Le Blanc, which still isn't out, by the way, in the US. I know, it's coming, April 1st, is that I put the yellow shade, the gold shade on over the entire look. I'm not gonna do that with this one. I'm gonna take the gold and I'm just gonna put it on the inner corner of the eye. I think if you put this gold over the camera cut me off. I'm not going to put the gold over the entire eye like I did with the Chanel and the Chantecaille that also have a yellow gold, whatever you want to call it, in the palettes, because they all seem to with spring summer. But I think if you put this over the eye look, yes, it's going to look really pretty. But this look I wanted to do just a little bit differently because I feel like I've done it twice now. I think you can see how pretty this gold is. It's actually pretty bright. It's not lemon. It's not like the Chanel. And it's even a little bit more gold than the Chantecaille. I'll do some comparisons hopefully over the next week or so, but I think you can see, like, this is more of a true gold. It's actually a really fun, really pretty quad, but using all the shades, it's definitely going to be colorful. This is not, you know, like I've said it many times, this is not a neutral palette. This is a bright spring denim inspired, you know, palette. So there's going to be more color here, but I actually think that the formula is really pretty. And the shimmer shade is the gold. I mean, the other shades seem to be more like satins and mattes. The lavender shade does not seem to be particularly opaque. It actually seems pretty light. And the brown shade that I put on first kind of dissipated underneath the purple and the blue. So what'll be interesting to see is if I use the purple and the blue by themselves, and then the brown and the gold, like, play around with it and see how strong they are. But I would say at the moment, the brown shade kind of dissipated. It's kind of gone underneath that blue. And the lavender shade doesn't seem particularly robust. It seems light. The blue and the gold shades are the shades that seem to kind of like stand out to me. All right, I'm gonna take that blue, because why not? I mean, the whole thing about this is denim, right? And line my eyes. It actually is a very pretty blue. It has, like I said, when it goes on the eye, it's got kind of like a gray little bit. So it's not so bright that it looks childish or, you know, I was joking around about the 80s, but it doesn't really look, you know, 80s. It has an updated adult look to it, which I do like. I'm going to take a Hakuhodo brush. I just want to see if I take that purple, if I can get a little bit more pigment out of it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you can. So it's not, you know, again, it has to do with tools and what you want to use. I'd still say the purple is not a super heavy shade, but you definitely get more purple using the Galinsky brush. So, you know, just remember that. It's like anything. Tools you use do matter. But yeah, you can actually get quite a bit more purple when you use this brush. So I would say the same is probably true about the gold and the blue because I was just using synthetics to put those on. So, wow. Okay. Yeah, that's purple. All right. Let me curl my lashes and put on mascara. I am going to use the Guerlain mascara. And then we'll take a look at the Milky Beige lip. I really like the Guerlain mascara. I don't talk about it very often, but it's really nice mascara. And I like the fact that it's got a curved brush. I'm one of those people who likes a curved brush. It's definitely volumizing, but it gives you some length as well. I think it's a really nice mascara, and it's one of the opened ones I have at the moment that I'm going through, but I really do like it. I think it gives a great look. As I said, the eyeshadow is actually quite nice. The gold is very gold, and the blue in here and the purple in here are really pretty and very spring-like shades. I actually like this look, but I will tell you, it kind of gives me 80s vibes, which I'm okay with, bringing back my youth, but you know, not everybody's gonna love that. But I think it's fun, and I think it actually looks very pretty on the eye. I probably would just use the blue and purple together. I mean, yeah, it's gonna create a bright look, but that's kind of the point of it. And, you know, maybe use like a cream shade in the inner corner and the brow. I mean, like that's kind of, and then I would use the gold and the brown together to create sort of a natural, you know, like neutral look. I definitely think it would be a warm look with those two. But using all of them together, I think it does work. And I do think it looks very pretty. But again, it's definitely a brighter, you know, it kind of matches the cover, which I actually like. I think, you know, I wish more brands did things like that. So let's use the Milky Beige so you can see what it looks like on the lips. It's actually a really great shade. It's very neutral. Milky Beige is a great way to describe that. I don't have a liner on with it, guys. I wanted you to be able to see the shade. I think you can tell it's like a really neutral, pinky beige. On some folks, this is gonna wash them out. Like if you're a couple shades deeper than I am, skin tone wise, the lipstick is gonna blend into your skin tone. I think for me, because I am so pale, it actually looks fine, and I really like it. It makes a really great neutral. And as I said before, the Velvet Guerlain G, the Rouge G, is actually very comfortable. It's not matte-like at all, at least not to me. It's a velvet, but it's very smooth, and it feels nourishing. It does not feel like a matte. So I can wear the velvets. It's still not my favorite formula. It's not my favorite formula, but it's still very pretty and pretty comfortable. All right, there we go. We have the final look with the Milky Beige on the lips and the, make sure I have the number right, 518 Summer Jean on the eye. I really think it's a pretty look, guys, but I'm gonna tell you, like, it does have a little bit of an 80s vibe to me because of the lavender and the blue and the gold. Like, this is something I would have worn. I would have been more ham with it. I would have like gone a little overboard. Today, you know, I have my style's a little bit more subdued than it was in the late 80s, but I really like it, and I actually think it looks very pretty. And then lip is so neutral that I think it balances really well with the more colorful eyes. I bought this collection for the cases. I love them. I love them. I think they're beautiful. They might not be your thing, but they're mine. And I just think they're just so cute and adorable that I just absolutely love them. I think that also make a great gift for folks. Now, I think the eyeshadow quad is a little trickier because not everybody's gonna like the colors that are within. So I would go with the lipstick cases if you were giving them as a gift, and then they can put whatever lipstick shade they want. The Milky Beige is a really good neutral, so I think that would work for most folks. The Kiss Kiss formula in 129. Make sure I got the right one. 129 Blossom Glow. You saw it on my lips. It's a very, very light pink. I think that would work for most people because it's barely there. I mean, you can see it. I've got the eyeshadow shades underneath, but I think if I built it up a little bit, you can see it's almost the shade of the Dior pink blush that I have on. It's just like a bright poppy pink. It's just a really pretty pink, but you know, it's spring-like, it's pink. And then the other shade, the red that I mentioned, I think it was 990. If I'm wrong in saying that, I'll make sure the right number. But that one, I'll have the shade up again. I did not pick that up. I did see it, and I thought that might be the new one. But it's just, I think it was ruby red or ruby something. I don't wear a red lip, and if I like the 12 more. Again, it's not new. As far as I'm aware, it's not new. But it looks very similar to this shade, which I think is kind of interesting that I did that completely by accident. So, final thoughts on this collection. I absolutely love it. I would have loved it, I'll be very honest, even if I hated the shades that were in here because I love the packaging so much. But I actually think it's really pretty. And very spring-like and very different. Again, it's colorful, blue and violet, lavender, and a gold, but I think it's fun. And lipstick is actually a better shade than I thought it was going to be. I thought Milky Beige was going to wash me out. I actually think it looks really nice. And it's a really good neutral for me, so I'm surprised. So yeah, all in all, I love it. I knew I was going to because I'd be happy enough, like I said, even if, again, I know it's a lot of money to spend for just cases, but I love them and I collect them. So for me, I'm thrilled to have it. Like I said, right now it's available on the Guerlain US site. I think it's available in Canada as well. And if it shows up at other retailers, I'm assuming it will show up at other retailers because previous versions and collections have. I just don't know when and where. So it should show up at Sephora, Nordstrom, those types of things. And when they do, I'll certainly link them. But I just don't know when. I'd love it if they showed up for the Sephora sale for all of you. That would be awesome. So you guys could get them on sale. I don't know. And if I find out, I'll let you know. But honestly, I've never gotten advance notice before. Guerlain is not a line or brand that leaks those types of details. So it's very unlikely I'm going to know ahead of time. But, if it does show up for the Sephora sale, absolutely, I think it's worth picking up. And I think they're worth picking up even if they're not on sale. But that's just me. I'd love to hear if it's a collection that you guys are interested in, if it's something you absolutely just don't want anything to do with, or if you've already picked it up, or any other thoughts you'd like to put down in the comments below. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. I hope to see you in another video really soon. Bye!
Yeah.